Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Scorpio Oxman channel. I'm Tyler, your home for astrology information as well as other esoteric knowledge information. So, thanks again for tuning in. So, August the 11th of 2026. So as I always talk about, primal astrology. So what animal is today in primal astrology, the astrological alignments that make the spirit animal of, let me rephrase that again. Today, on this day, today is day of the snail in primal astrology. The astrological alignments make it to be the energy and spirit of the snail. The snail is one of 144 different spirit animals in the primal astrology. So today we have a Cancer moon, Cancer the crab, in the true sidereal zodiac. And it's also day of the snake in the Chinese astrology. In the Chinese astrology, we're in year of the horse, yes. But in regards to the day that we're on or in right now, it's actually day of the snake. We just entered month of the monkey as well, August. In the Chinese astrology, also known as Vietnamese astrology. As you would know if you've researched primal astrology on the website, which is this right here, the combination of Cancer, the crab, the combination of Cancer in the snake, Cancer in snake, that combination, that is spirit of the snail, the snail. Now, so I'm going to think of the most famous somebody that I could think of off the top of my head who is Spirit of the Snail. And I've done a video on him before, a him, quote unquote. He's born May the 31st of 1930. May the 31st of 1930. Okay, so if I were to ask you to guess, okay, so that may not be enough of a clue or a hint of which celebrity I'm talking about. Okay, Clint Eastwood. Okay, so we're going to talk about Clint Eastwood today, since today is actually the exact astrological alignment as him. The day that he was born was also day of the snail. Okay, and that was uh, on that very day was uh, was just like today. There was a Cancer moon, Cancer the crab, and day of the snake. Okay, and I'm actually going to look to see specifically. I want to know specifically if it was the fire snake, which is actually today. So I'm just looking May the 31st. Uh oh, okay. Okay, it wasn't May the 31st, 1930. That was actually day of the metal snake. Okay, so for a second, I thought he was the fire snake day, which is today, by the way. So Clint Eastwood, today is day of the fire snake on this very day, August 11, 2026. Again, May the 31st, 1930. 1930 is Day of the Metal Snake. So it's still Day of the Snake with a Cancer moon. Okay, Cancer the crab, the fourth sign of the zodiac in outer space. Okay. Uh, so uh, the Cancer snake is the snail. So let's read about Clint Eastwood, the personality and characteristics of the people in this world who are born on Day of the Snail in Primal Astrology. Again, they have a Cancer moon, Cancer the crab, and Day of the Snake. So this is referring to Day of the Snail. Okay, not year of the snail or month of the snail, because there's those aspects as well among primal astrology. In this regard, we're talking about day of the snail. Okay, so this is Clint Eastwood, and I'm actually going to read it off to you. Uh, I'm going to leave this on. Instead of scrolling down, I could just read it. I'll read it from here. So I'm just going to read it on my phone here of what it says. So this is Clint Eastwood, for example. Okay. So usually it starts off by saying, usually being called a snail means that you are slow moving. But if your primal zodiac sign happens to be the snail in primal astrology, it means much more than that. Members of this sign are deep thinkers and are extremely devoted to those they love. They are very difficult people to predict. So I guess that could be Clint Eastwood in real life and also in his acting career, perhaps. And uh, difficult people to predict. They tend to be moody and spend a lot of time alone pondering the mysteries of life. The intuitive senses of this sign are strong, and some snails may find they even have a sixth sense or a psychic ability. Interesting. So while they may ask you many questions about your life, snails don't like to reveal a lot about themselves. Okay, so Dirty Harry. Okay, Dirty Harry, for example, in his movies, he's not going to reveal too much about himself because if he's working as an undercover police officer or undercover detective, he's not going to reveal a whole lot about himself, right? So that I think that kind of stands out there in Clint Eastwood's Dirty Harry movies. Uh, they may ask a lot of questions, but they won't reveal a lot about themselves. Okay, so that could definitely be some of Clint Eastwood's characters that he plays in his movies. Ironically, they can see through the facades. Sorry, they can see through the facades of others. They can see through the facades of others, yet they still put up a facade of their own. Okay, so that's could be Dirty Harry. Okay, for the iconic character that Clint Eastwood played, Dirty Harry in the Dirty Harry movies. I think that that probably says a lot about his character. He can see through people, but nobody could see through him, right? So I think that says something there. And I think I'll scroll down just to show you that it says that. And yeah, there it is there. See through. Yeah, this is where it says it right there. Yeah. Ironically, they can see through the facades of others. So I just wanted to show you that's what it says. Okay. And uh, deep down, So I'll read a little bit more. Deep down, they are insecure and worried that others won't accept them for who they really are. Snails may seem cool and reserved on the outside. There you go. That's another trait I think that he has. And cool and reserved on the outside, but inside they are very sensitive and highly emotional. They feel things on a deeper level than most other signs. So, but they never let it show. But they never let it show. Okay, so there's definitely a soft spot to Clint Eastwood in his movies, right? In real life too. But the toughness is shown on the outside, but there's a soft spot on the inside. So that's very much like a snail, right? They're tough on the outside. They have the shell on the inside, the soft spot, right? So uh, they feel things on a deeper level than most other signs. Yeah, yeah, I went through this, but they never let it show. Member, okay, so members of this sign will need to learn how to let others help them if they are going to grow, if they are going to grow both emotionally and spiritually. Okay, so that's very interesting. Now, uh, I'm just gonna I'll read a little bit what it says. Gonna read a little bit what it says on careers and goals. Just briefly. Uh, this is a sign that is good with money. Okay. Snails have a knack for sensing trends, which helps greatly in careers involving monetary investments. But in reality, those who are spirit of the snail are too cautious for that kind of work. Members of this sign like stability and security in their careers, and they do their best work when they feel comfortable and safe. That does make things a bit broad, but really it means that snails should be careful not to dream too big, because usually where they end up wanting to be is in the security of a familiar place. How many other animals carry their home? I mean, what I mean is how many other animals carry their home with them wherever they go. Okay, so that's what they're referring to. And so again, I'm going to leave the link below for you guys to read about the snail, uh, the whole thing, and not just the ones I read, the parts I read of you, but you could read all about it on the page, this page, of course, that I'm showing here. And I'll just read a bit more on their careers, the careers and goals of snails. There are many things the smart and capable snail can do. Okay. Clint Eastwood doing his own directing and movie productions and that. So there's an example, of course. There's many things the smart and capable snail can do. It just depends on where they are in their lives. People born under this sign tend to change jobs often, which is in contrast to their nature. They will search for the perfect situation, even though they hate starting over. They hate starting over. Once a snail finds their place, though, they will be satisfied and shouldn't be afraid of taking a reasonable amount of time to explore. Members of the sign like to be helpful, but authoritative. They like to be authoritative. So, oh, that says a lot about the Dirty Harry characters. They want to be of authority. Okay, authority at its finest. I'm saying authority at its finest is what they want to be, right? So because of that, because of that, careers such as dietitian, nutritionist, or psychologist work well for them. Another possibility is a career as a private investigator. So, okay, I think that one, you think that one probably stands out right there, a private investigator. Now, what was Dirty Harry's character in the movies? Uh, Clint Eastwood's character, Dirty Harry, what was he in the movie in the movies, the Dirty Harry movies? There was five of them, from in the 70s and 80s. So that's what it says right here. So coincidence, coincidence that it says that. So uh, a career as a private investigator. This is a great fit for helping others while using their intuition. So there you have it. So that's another reason why just showing you the authenticity of primal astrology. And these actors in Hollywood, uh, they probably they probably aren't acting, but rather playing their selves, playing their actual selves in the movies, right? Such as Clint Eastwood. So that's only speculation on my part of just my assumption, my assumption of that. So, okay, guys, thanks again. Thanks again for watching today. And again, keep firing your questions at me at scorpiooxman@gmail.com. My email address is scorpiooxman@gmail.com. I answer your questions for free. And thanks again for all my supporters out there. Thanks again for all your support. And I hope you're all having a great summer as well. And until next time, guys, all the best. Take care and God bless. Until next time, thank you. Lots of love. Sending.